Collective, they wanted control, you wanted love. It wasn't your love that failed, it was their obsession with power. They masked control as care while trying to cage the very heart that freed them. But the truth is, you were never the one unworthy of love. A emperor reversed. They weren't guiding with wisdom, they were grasping for dominance. Every choice was about keeping you beneath them, not building with you, Queen of Cups. Your love was the difference. You offered patience and devotion with no games attached. Your softness was never weakness, it was your power, devil. This is where it turned. What could have been intimacy became a chain. Connection became control. Love became survival when it was supposed to be freedom. Your crown now is clarity. Not the clarity that fears breaking away, but the kind that trusts your spirit was never meant to be owned. Drop a flame if you broke free from control disguised as love. Aries, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your fire, it was their confusion. They broke devotion, playing indecisive games while you burned steady. But the truth is, you were never the one scattered. Two of Pentacles. They thought they could juggle and keep control, but imbalance caught up quick, and you saw through the chaos. Their lack of focus never dimmed your flame. You're Seven of Cups. Yes, they entertained illusions, but none could match the realness you gave. Every false choice only exposed how shallow they truly were. Queen of Swords. Your clarity sliced through the noise. You stood firm while they stumbled, and now your strength is the justice they can't escape. Confidence is your crown now. Not the kind that chases, but the kind that knows what burns for you won't ever flicker out. Drop a flame if there maybe cost them your always. Taurus, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your patience. It was their restlessness. They broke loyalty, chasing distractions while you held steady. But the truth is, you were never the one unstable. Two of Pentacles. They tried to juggle comfort and chaos, but their footing slipped while you stood rooted. The imbalance revealed what could not last. Seven of Cups. Yes, they got lost in illusions, but none of those cups held substance. They chose temptation over truth and paid the price. Queen of Swords. Your boundaries spoke louder than their excuses. You cut ties with grace, not bitterness, and the clarity they feared became your freedom. Security is your crown now. Not the kind they mistook for weakness, but the kind that thrives when you choose yourself. Drop a sprout if there maybe cost them your always. Gemini, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your versatility, it was their indecision. They broke connection, chasing every whisper while you spoke truth. But the truth is, you were never the one scattered. Two of Pentacles. They fumbled trying to juggle too much, but you saw the slip before it happened. Their imbalance revealed your strength and clarity. Seven of Cups. Yes, they got lost in fantasies, but none matched the realness you offered. Their illusions collapsed when faced with your truth. Queen of Swords. You chose sharp honesty over half-truths. You cut through games with clarity, and now your wisdom is the silence that echoes louder than words. Truth is your crown now. Not the kind that bends to confusion, but the kind that shines when you refuse to shrink. Drop a spiral if there maybe cost them your always. Cancer, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your care, it was their avoidance. They broke security, chasing illusions while you nurtured steady love. But the truth is, you were never the one unsure. Two of Pentacles. They tried to balance too many tides, but their ship sank under its own weight while you flowed with the rhythm of truth. Seven of Cups. Yes, they chased fantasies, but none could fill the emptiness inside them. Their illusions drowned in shallow waters. Queen of Swords. You chose wisdom over excuses. You protected your heart with truth, and the strength they dismissed became the reason you rise. Emotional clarity is your crown now, not the kind that clings, but the kind that knows love should never beg. Drop a wave if there may be cost them your always. Leo, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your shine, it was their insecurity. They broke loyalty, feeding ego illusions while you stayed authentic, but the truth is, you were never the one. Dim two of pentacles. They tried to juggle shadows and light, but their hands slipped on what wasn't real. You held steady in the truth they couldn't grasp. Seven of cups. Yes, they chased illusions, but none outshined the real love you gave. Their fantasies only left them emptier than before. Queen of Swords, you spoke truth with dignity. Your roar was clarity, not chaos, and the boundaries they feared became your protection. Radiance is your crown now, not the kind that dims for others, but the kind that reminds the world your glow is divine. Drop a lion if there may be cost them your always. Virgo, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your consistency, it was their instability. They broke trust playing games while you built truth, but the truth is, you were never the one. Messy. Two of Pentacles. They couldn't manage what they started while you carry balance with grace. Their slip showed you who deserved your time. Seven of Cups. Yes, they chased empty choices, but every option was hollow. None could stand against the realness you gave. Queen of Swords. Your discernment became your shield. You cut through the noise with clarity, and now your wisdom is the silence they can't escape. Grounded truth is your crown now, not the kind that overgives, but the kind that honors what's real and leaves illusions behind. Drop wheat if there may be cost them your always. Libra, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your fairness, it was their confusion. They broke harmony, chasing imbalance while you sought truth, but the truth is, you were never the one. Off balance. Two of Pentacles. They fumbled trying to juggle too much while you weighed truth with clarity. Their chaos revealed your strength. Seven of Cups. Yes, they stared at illusions, but none were worth the cost of you. Their choices dissolved like smoke. Queen of Swords. You cut through with balance and grace. Your words carried justice, and the truth they feared became your freedom. Equilibrium is your crown now, not the kind that bends to indecision, but the kind that stands unshaken in clarity. Drop scales if there may be cost them your always. Scorpio, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your depth, it was their shallowness. They broke devotion, chasing shadows while you loved with intensity, but the truth is, you were never the one afraid. Two of Pentacles. They juggled recklessly, thinking you wouldn't notice, but imbalance cannot hide from your vision. You saw truth in their hesitation. Seven of Cups. Yes, they fed illusions, but none held power against the depth you carry. Their fantasies collapsed under your truth. Queen of Swords. You cut cords clean, no fear, no hesitation, and the strength they underestimated became their lesson. Transformation is your crown now, not the kind that clings, but the kind that rises reborn in power. Drop a scorpion if there may be cost them your always. Sagittarius, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your freedom, it was their fear. They broke connection, chase, and distractions while you sought truth, but the truth is, you were never the one lost. Two of Pentacles. They tried to balance lies with truth, but imbalance never lasts. You moved forward while they stayed stuck. Seven of Cups. Yes, they indulged in illusions, but none carried the weight of your honesty. Their fantasies left them empty-handed. Queen of Swords. You spoke clarity without apology. Your vision was sharper than their denial. And now your truth is the arrow that freed you. Wisdom is your crown now. Not the kind that doubts itself, but the kind that knows freedom begins with honesty. Drop an arrow if there may be cost them your always. Capricorn, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your discipline, it was their weakness. They broke loyalty, chasing illusions while you built stability, but the truth is, you were never the one crumbling. Two of Pentacles. They tried to manage too much with no foundation, but their choices fell apart under pressure, while you stood strong on steady ground. Seven of Cups. Yes, they got lost in empty fantasies, but none could replace the reality you built. Their illusions dissolved when faced with your strength. Queen of Swords, your truth became non negotiable. You cut ties with precision and clarity, and their excuses fell silent in your presence. Authority is your crown now. Not the kind they ran from, but the kind that proves you'll never bow to illusions. Drop a goat if there maybe cost them your always. Aquarius, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your vision, it was their blindness. They broke trust, chasing illusions while you stood in truth. But the truth is, you were never the one unclear. Two of Pentacles. They juggled without foresight, but you saw the cracks in their foundation. Their imbalance revealed your strength and clarity. Seven of Cups. Yes, they chased illusions, but none matched the realness of your authenticity. Their fantasies only left them behind. Queen of Swords. Your mind stayed sharp. You cut through fogs with truth, and the boundaries they resisted became their karma. Clarity is your crown now. Not the kind they dismiss, but the kind that proves vision always outlives illusions. Drop a light bulb if there maybe cost them your always. Pisces, they lost you while trying to keep their options open. It wasn't your compassion, it was their confusion. They broke loyalty, chasing distractions while you gave devotion. But the truth is, you were never the one naive. Two of Pentacles. They thought they could juggle what was sacred, but imbalance caught them slipping, and your spirit saw the truth before they confessed. Seven of Cups. Yes, they got lost in fantasy, but every cup was hollow. Their illusion shattered against the love you carried. Queen of Swords. Your wisdom cut through the noise. You spoke clarity even in heartbreak, and the truth they ran from became your liberation. Intuition is your crown now. Not the kind that bends, but the kind that rises unshaken after betrayal. Drop a fish if there maybe cost them your always.